Sunday afternoon. We have had Otaymah on telling us from American Royal Beauties, ARB, telling us about her reign and becoming a new queen that she was newly crowned in June, and talking about the system. So we're hoping that we can get her back on and get the feedback so that we can hear clearly. I'm not sure if it's technical issues on my side or if it's technical issues on her side. It's always hard to tell depending on whether it's a server issue or if it's whether it's with me either. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can.
Am I still
I'm going to try and go near a window. That helps. Uh-oh.
Are you on your phone or are you on Wi-Fi?
You know what?
Sorry guys, I hate dead airspace. Hopefully we'll get everybody back in just a minute. So this is Stacy Simpson with PageantryNOW, and we do live broadcasts of pageant title holders that want to share their stories about what they're doing with their titles and being able to change the world around them in a positive way, positive pageantry for the win. A lot of times in pageantry you hear about the things that go wrong in pageants, but you don't hear about the good things that happen through pageantry. So it's super important for us to be able to highlight that. So we're going to try one more time. See if this works. Fingers crossed. Hi.
Hello.
That's a little bit better.
There you are.
Yay! Yeah, if you're connected to Wi-Fi or if you are on your phone, it works a little bit better. So, all right, so let's try this again. Tell us who you are and your title.
No.
Hello. Oh, I am so sad. Come on. Out of our technical issues. Oh my gosh, I think we need to get a different platform for this that's more stable. This is craziness. I know, we lost her again, and I don't know if it's the servers or if it's my Wi-Fi or her Wi-Fi. You can hear me okay, right, Jen? Or am I choppy on your end too? You can hear me? Okay, I'm fine. All right. So, and you can hear me too? Okay. All right, let's try this one more time. See? We lost her. Please stand by. One of our representatives will be with you momentarily. We're experiencing some technical issues. Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. So you are not an intern, you are a social media manager. You're much more important than I am. What's that all about? You do so much more than I do. I mean, now I'm not on nearly as much as I used to be. But we got to talk about getting you on the show so we can do your interview. So let me know when you are available and we'll start interviewing the Universe girls. So now that's your job. Yay! Social media manager. I would assume that's your part of your job too is scheduling appearances and things like that. So we'll see.
Working. Oh, okay.
Let's try this again. Third time's 5 times the charge.
I see. Can you see me?
I can see you and I can hear you. You're a little choppy, but you're fine.
Okay, I can hear and see you.
Okay. All right. So introduce yourself one more time for everybody and tell us your title.
Hello, I am Otaymah Bonds, your American Royal Beauties National Excellence Miss.
Okay, and Jennifer asked, what is the difference between the Excellence title and an Excellence National title? And what does that mean? Because I know there's several different divisions that you can win a title in. So tell us about that in the American Royal Beauty system. So
Really, there's no difference. There's those that come to state pageants and compete, and then there's those who have to be approved to compete. And that's really it. It's basically just more ways to win. It's an extension of nationals so that you have two queens at all times for each division who are serving. That's really the only difference.
okay, so you are definitely out there making a difference in the world. So is that how you win the Excellence title?
Yeah, definitely. It was actually a pretty rigorous process where first they see you or you see them, then you have to be put through a kind of an examination, I guess, to make sure that you're a right fit for the system, and then you're able to compete. So they research you, they find out what you're about, you have questions with them, there's interviews, and then you move on to competing live.
Right. Okay. So you can go at large. I know because I know that there's several different options that you can do. You can either do one of the live pageants, you can do the virtual pageant that they have, or you can go at large. But I know that through all of that process, you still have areas of competition, even if it's at large, before you can go on to the national title. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the national title obviously is live. So there you go. So do they have a virtual national pageant as well, or is it just virtual for state titles?
There's a virtual title and there's virtual, but it's not necessarily connected to getting a national title. It's connected now, and there's like 3 or 4 of them. There's the fourth and things like that, but still you're put through the process before you can compete live. So either way, whether you do the national or try to get to national, you still have to go through the processing and interviews.
Great. So it's different than a lot of at-large titles because there are people that may not go to a live pageant, but they still have to go through that qualification process, which they have instead of just, congratulations, you paid us money, here's a crown. Right?
Right. So it's not like you're just because you have an interest, you're going into it, you know?
Gotcha. Okay, that's good. So that means quality over quantity. So that's always important. Now I know that you live in Michigan, so tell us a little bit about the areas that you service in Michigan through Eternal Woman Inc.
No.
Did I freeze again? You froze. I can hear you screaming.
Oh no.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, through just then.
Oh, you did? thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Uh-oh. Hear me
I'm here.
now.
I can hear you. I can hear you now. Okay, I'm gonna type questions so that you can see them.
Oh.
And then if you want, you can type back. Oh no. All right, so we've lost her again. Okay, so basically I've just asked her, I said, how do you tell us how you serve the Michigan areas through Eternal Woman Inc.? I know. Sorry about the technical issues. I don't know if you guys are having it. You can hear me okay and see me okay. I don't know if I am choppy too. I know that they just changed our internet speed, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not. So I don't know if it's my side or Atma's side. Hey, Atmaya. Oh, okay, thank you. And I always say your name wrong. I'm so, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can try this again. I see her back. We'll try it one last time. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Working.
Okay, we have you. Just don't move.
It's working?
Yeah, it's working. I see you and I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, so tell us about the area that you serve in Michigan and the community that you serve with Eternal Woman Inc.
I generally serve the entire metropolitan area and throughout. It just depends on where there's help needed or guidance sought. For instance, sometimes I'm in Warren, which is the area I'm close to, and I'm doing things at Peck Elementary, for instance, or doing things with the mayor there, or I'm in Ann Arbor at my alma mater and doing things with girls there or at elementary schools there, or sometimes I'm at high schools, or sometimes I'm centrally located in Detroit, like when I do work with Detroit Unity in the community, or I'm doing work with Southeastern Girl Scouts. It just kind of varies in terms of what's scheduled at that time, but I don't really have a set place where I am. Generally,
Right.
I'll go wherever um, the girls and the women need help with different things. It just depends on the day, generally, or the week.
Right, and of course now Eternal Woman is also not only your charity, but it's your job, correct? Like your job is to go out and actually work with all of these women and young women and girls, trying to help support them and make them feel good about stuff.
Yes, and to answer Jennifer, both are run simultaneously. What happened was I started competing in pageants, and it inspired me so much. And really, the women and the girls in pageantry inspired me to start really digging deep within myself and saying, what is my purpose? What do I want to do? What is this life about? What is my passion? Which is, of course, what pageantry does, right? It helps you to discover more about you.
Right.
Well, I said, this is something that we've been doing a long time, because Eternal Women is not just myself, it's a team, it's a board. So it's a nonprofit organization as a whole. So after thinking about that, speaking with those who are like minded, going to different schools and organizations, we discovered that that's so severely needed in terms of self esteem building, awareness, counseling, domestic violence, abuse survivors, and things like that. So I do both at the same time. What they say, do what you love. And that's exactly what I love doing. So it's that I'm able to do both at the same time, which I'm really, really blessed with. So it's really good.
Yeah, well, and not only that, I mean, it's so, I love that fact that pageantry can take you to places that you don't ever expect pageantry to take you to. Uh, when I started competing originally, I started competing when I was 16, but I wasn't doing it, I was doing it for other people. I wasn't doing it for myself. It wasn't for the right reasons. And then I took a break for several years, and then when I went back, it was just about being a cancer survivor and trying to just share my story of being a survivor. But what I found as pageantry grew, and as I started to change too, new ideas, new parts of me, different opportunities presented themselves, and then it was like, oh wait, I mean, pageantry now is not my job, it's just something I do for fun to enable women like you to share your stories. But I was inspired to say, hey, not enough coverage is out there for all of these amazing women, and men too, because there are men that are competing pageants and we forget about that. And there's also men behind the scenes. There's men that are directors, that are coaches, that are choreographers that don't get the kind of accolades that we do, because we wear a crown and we walk around and we're like, yeah, we're here. So that's what this is all about, is to try to offer that same positive part of the world and show to people, hey, you can do anything, and you don't have to look a specific way, you don't have to be a specific way, you don't have to there's a pageant for everyone, and there's a way for you to be able to find yourself within that. So I think that's awesome.
Right.
Jennifer's question is, what's your favorite phase of competition?
You know what? Generally, I enjoy the whole thing. I enjoy the whole competition. If I had to choose one area specifically, I would say interview. I would say interview, because interview is the toughest. And I generally, if I'm afraid of something or I feel as though something will be really difficult, I will tackle that first. And I really wanted to get into the interview being a conversation instead of something grueling or something to be afraid of. And I said, I really get into it to where they're talking to me, and I'm able to say effectively who I am and what I stand for and what I want to do with the title and the crown. So that was something that I did a lot of research on, and something I was really more engrossed in. The other areas I had fun with, definitely, but being able to actually go in there and not really be nervous, or even if I was nervous, to do it anyway and just enjoy interview, was a feat. And I discovered that it was just monumental. It was phenomenal in terms of just speaking to those women who were interviewing me about themselves and just opening up and discovering about each other. It was actually fun. It was really, really good. So I'd say interview more than all the other areas.
I gotta agree with you. I mean, I think that the interview part, if it goes well, if you get an opportunity, because like if there's a short interview, there's no opportunity to get to know the people that are interviewing you.
Right.
Whereas, so like if you've got like a 3 or 4 minute interview, that I don't think that's enough time for you to really establish a relationship. So I'm on that big thing where if it's a 3.5 minute interview and it's a 50% score, thank you. I always wonder, how are they really going to know what I do in 3.5 minutes? There's no way for me to talk fast enough for me to say what I do in 3.5 minutes. So I like the interviews where you've got 5 to 10 minutes to be able to really say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing with my crown, this is where I see myself winning the national crown and where I can take the national crown to. And I think my favorite interview was when we had a 2-minute statement previous to interview, and then it was a 10-minute interview, which is great. I mean, 2 minutes to be able to tell about yourself or an opening statement, and then 10 minutes for them to ask you questions. And I did my 10-minute, longer interview. Agree, Jennifer? You agree? Because then you build some camaraderie. There's give and take. And in this particular interview, I made my opening statement, and all 5 of the judges went. And I was like, okay. And I waited a second, and I said, would anyone like to ask me a question? And they all went, no, we're good, thank you. And I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And then one of the ladies looked at me and she goes, I'm sorry, I got a question that's really not appropriate, but can I ask you a question? And I said, well, sure, go ahead. She goes, my sister was just diagnosed with cancer and I don't know what to do. Can you give me some advice on how to deal with it? So it was very personal. She didn't go for something, that was generally about, she wanted something very personal. And immediately I was like, okay, this is what you do, these are steps. And then from that moment, then the rest of the questions kind of started coming where people, oh, really? Well, tell me about this. Well, tell me about that. And I was like, okay, gosh, because that moment of all 5 of the judges going, I thought, I'm dead. This is it. There's... So I love when you have that opportunity to get to know the people that you're talking to. So I know that you have a talent and you sing and you are the talent winner. So tell me a little bit about music and how it's influenced your life, and what inspired you to take up vocal gymnastics.
I didn't hear the last part of that, Stacey.
Did you hear me?
I didn't hear the last part.
I just said, what made you decide to take up vocal gymnastics?
You know what? I really love athleticism as a whole. And I love the dynamicism of gymnastics and cheerleading and the teamwork that it takes to really put things through. That's the thing I also love about pageantry, is that it's really not about you. It's about the community as a whole. It's about your team and learning and growing with each other. So I've competed in dance before all my life. Competed in like fencing, gymnastics, things like that, cheerleading. And I think one thing just kind of flows into the other. It's like you do one thing and you're like, all right, I've done that. Like this, like you were saying in our last interview about the pageant system that we're in at that time. You had already done this particular thing. Then you wanted to segue into what things you had accomplished. It just kind of flows like everything in life does, and everything being relative. Specifically, though, I would say it was probably about the percussive movements and just the stamina and athleticism that's required for the sport itself.
Okay, and what made you decide to do, because you competed your talent, you sang, so what kind of music do you like to sing, and what made you decide to do, singing instead of maybe one of, dancing or something else that was a different kind of talent?
That's a really interesting question. It was more about a feeling that I had. There was this song that I hadn't remembered that I had sang from quite a long time ago. And I thought, you know what? I think this audience might feel that song, because that's what it's really about for me. It's what's in here, what's inside you. And I wasn't quite sure why, but I ended up singing that song. Generally, if I have a gut feeling about something, or my intuition is me something, I'll go with that feeling. And I did end up singing, but specifically with that song, it was a song that got me quite a tumultuous time in my life. And
what song did you sing?
I did His Eye Is on the Sparrow.
Oh my gosh, that's not an easy song to sing either.
No.
Jennifer says she sings as well, so that's hard. Oh my goodness.
I would love to hear you sing, Jennifer. I'll have to tune into you and see one of your broadcasts and hear you singing. That would be awesome.
We'll have her sing on ours. She's gonna do an interview with us one day. So, well, with her new title. So, not one day. We've got to schedule it. So, someday soon. As soon as she gets back from Miss America, we'll do it. So, then we can pick her brain about Miss America.
That song, it touches of you. You know, song. It deals with loss, but it with seeing the sun and seeing the light, any kind of. What ended up happening was one of my now to me after and said, "You know what? I needed that. I really needed that." And about 10 or 15 other people said, "You know, there was something I was going through, and this song really sparked that and helped me to get through that in that moment." And that's why I sing. That's why I'm in the arts. That's why Eternal Women's, because it's about each other. It's not about a singular person or a singular moment. It's about life. It's about us helping each other. I think and believe that that song was chosen for me, not that I chose the song, especially the impact that it had. So I think you just never really know. You have to really go with your feelings.
Yeah, I had never done talent until this pageant in November. Mm-hmm. It was the first time I'd ever done talent. It was like a bucket list thing. And I did Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King, because I teach little kids. So for me, it fit with what I wanted to do. It let me do talent so I could say, yes, I have done it. We're done. We've competed. We've completed every form of competition we can do. I'm out. But there's something really empowering about being able to do that, about being able to express yourself.
And sure, I'm sure it was great.
Especially if it's something that you really love and inspires you.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose you again? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I hear you. I hear you. Don't move, don't move. Oh, I think we got you. There you go. Oh no, I think there we got you. Okay, don't move, don't move.
Oh, there it is.
Yay! Hi. All right. So, what has set this pageant experience aside from you from other pageant experiences that you've had?
Was that how did this one differ?
Yeah, why? Yeah, how is this different than, and was it a better pageant experience than you've had in the past, and what makes it better or worse? And I know you said that they're family, so that's something that you really are happy about. So tell me more about that.
I would say this was probably the best that I've had, the best, simply because one is grows upon another. You learn more about yourself, you learn more about pageantry, you learn more about how to present yourself. For this particular system, them being a family and being really professional and efficient, answering emails, answering questions, a lot of things in pageantry is right there on the spot in terms, including being an administrator for a pageant. And it's important that you have someone over the pageant that's very, very professional, that actually cares about, every aspect of the pageant, that actually cares about their contestants, about their queens to be, and about those who are there at that moment. And I can definitely say that Susan West absolutely cares about each and every single solitary one of us. She knows what you're about. She knows who you are. She cares about whether you're feeling well, whether you feel the competition itself, what you're afraid of. Knows you, and her staff knows you. And it's not just like, oh, this is that person or this person, or you're a number.
Right.
It's that even though we, of course, so that the judges can know that they know the ARB staff and the director, Susan West, actually generally and specifically cares what you're doing. So I would say in that regard, having all of the professionalism, the efficiency, the timeliness, the support, and just the general caring and love, it really made the competition and the whole experience cohesive and just a positive experience. It was, in a word, fun. It was enjoyable.
Awesome. That's great. And that's what it should be. It should be about having fun and enjoying it and, walking away with that feeling like you feel special. It shouldn't be just the winners that feel special. It should be everybody that walks away feeling special. So that's great to hear that is so positive. It's been a positive experience for you. So.
Sure.
No, it's okay, Jennifer. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so what are final thoughts? What would you like to share with us finally about what you're going to do with your title and how you're changing your world? Did I lose you again?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me, Stacey?
I can hear you.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Any final thoughts before we lose
Daisy.
you? Can you hear me?
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Hello,
Oh,
I can hear you. Don't move. I can hear you. Okay, any final thoughts before we lose connection? Tell us what you want to share about the system, about your reign, about what you're going to do.
Just generally, let's just support each other. In terms of specifics with my reign, I would like to do a larger event with Black Girls Reign, which will focus on women of color who reigned in pageantry. Hasn't been discussed by Open Worlds. So just connecting with other sister queens and more with those who are within pageantry, those and just women and girls who are at events need to know women's history, how to feel better about themselves, how to say yes to help, how to say yes to uplifting themselves and those in their family. So my focus is generally just on the positive side of pageantry and making sure that people can see that and that we'll be around. It's a positive movement. It's a artistic expression, and it's one that I take so seriously and such great pride, of course, humbly, to serve as a queen for ARB. And we'll see what happens in the future. Those major events, of course, I'll have my community service, and those will become much more broad this time. Last time, there were specific organizations that I worked with. Now, open to where I can work with all different kinds of organizations in different areas, state and the nation. So we're pretty excited about that.
I lost you a little bit. All right, so it sounds like you have a busy year set up and you're going to be changing lives, not just through pageantry. You just do that generally in your life and what you do with your dedication to your community, your community service. So it's not just through pageantry that you're changing lives. You do
One more time, Stacey.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
Okay, so basically, my comment is that you're not just changing lives through pageantry. It isn't just positive pageantry. You lead a positive lifestyle every day. You are a leader
Single moment of it.
to your
Absolutely.
community. So this isn't something that you just do because you're wearing a crown. This is something that you live every single day, and that's super inspiring. So that really is what it should be about. Is that a crown is a great way to open doors and to give you a microphone. I think Jen is the one that uses the tagline, "Your crown is your red carpet" to things that you wouldn't normally get exposed to, which is true. I always say it's my microphone. It gives me an opportunity to talk to people that I wouldn't normally get to talk to. But that what you do is trying to change young lives and women around you, and I mean, I'm sure men as well, and just try to give them a positive role model to look at and realize that they are worthy and they are important, and they are loved. So that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Yay! Well, I'm gonna break us off only because we've been having such a hard time with being able to keep the connection, and I'm sorry to cut us a little bit short. But I want to thank you so much for coming on again, and then I really do want to touch base with you before you give up your crown. So before you crown your successor in June, let's try to do this again. You know, maybe in April or May, so that we can hear about what you've done throughout your year and the experiences that you've had, so we can catch up on that.
That'd be awesome.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, my love, for being back on again and being a guest again. We really appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out to us. Mwah. Much love to you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you now.
Okay, I was going to say much love to you. Thank you for being on the show again. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your time. We love you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again and seeing all the amazing things that you're doing throughout your year. I'm going to go ahead and share the website for the pageant, so if anybody wants more information, they can get involved as well, okay? All right,
Okay.
thank you, sweetie.
It's been
Take
a
care.
blast.
Be well.
Love you. You're so
Bye-bye.
positive, so amazing.
Oh, so are you.
We're
Oh,
just
my gosh. Hold on one second. Did I lose you? I lost you. Bye. Oh, I hate when we're having technical issues. It makes me crazy. All right, so thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and list the ARB pageant information here, so that you guys can take a look at it. Again, if you want to be able to get more information about the system, you can get it there. I know that Mahasa, and I always say it wrong, I'm sorry. She has a Facebook page as well. Otaymah. Oh. One day I'll get it right. It's only taken me a year. So she does have her own page, so you can look her up at American Royal Beauties. National Excellent Miss for 2017. And then if you'd like more information on us, you can always give me, you can find us on PageantryNOW, on Facebook at PageantryNOW, Twitter PageantryNOW, Instagram at PageantryNOW, or you can go and watch our videos on YouTube at PageantryNOW Media. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And I got to tell you, I didn't get a chance to say it, but your headshot is amazing. Hey, Pop-Tart, how are you? Thanks for joining me. We're getting ready to sign off, but thank you for everybody that watched today and participating. Jennifer, as always, thank you for being here. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate all of my crownies. There, they found crownies. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of my world and giving me an opportunity to be able to share your stories. So with that being said, don't forget to do what Ellen DeGeneres says and be kind to one another, because at the end of the day, that is really what it should be about, is us trying to be nice to each other, and our world is so tumultuous right now, so it's really important that we find a way to be able to reach out. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. That's a wrap. Good night.